What is going on, everyone? Slims here, coming to you guys another Overwatch video. This one's going to be talking about my transition from console to PC Overwatch and how I actually managed to get top 200 in Season 3 with about a month of playtime on Overwatch. So I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of background first and the reason why I swapped in the first place. So January 9th, I started college, currently studying electrical engineering. And previously, I didn't have a computer at all, not a laptop, not a desktop, nothing. So of course, for college, I needed something for myself that I can, log into, student-based resources and turn in certain assignments, research. Of course, you're gonna need some kind of computer for college. So I definitely wanted a decent PC, a little bit powerful. So that bill would have probably been about $500. So I decided to actually go a bit further and add another $500 to be able to get a gaming PC, since I would already need a computer. And since I'm already having to build a computer, might as well make it so I can play games in a really high graphical settings and still get really good frames. So I decided to do that. My build, I just tell you guys a few specs. I got a GTX 1070, 16 gigabytes of RAM, i5, and 250 SSD. So it's a really good build. And it was about $1,050, which is not too bad. So moving on, I want to say that I've never played a FPS game or really any PC game in my life, so I really have no experience with PC gaming. I actually really suck with a keyboard. I won't say I suck with a mouse, but I'm not too good at a keyboard. Like I type looking down, and when I first started playing Overwatch on PC, like I was ulting my mistakes so many times. It's something I think that a lot of people do, but I was doing it like way too much. Like even when I was Masters and GM, which I'll get into later, I was ulting like on accident like 2 times a game, which is terrible. And somehow I was still winning those games, even though I was making those kind of mistakes. I just want to give you guys that background because I just, even right now, I'm still not that good with a keyboard. I was number 1 on PS4 for Season 3, Season 2, and I was number 6 Season 1. So I say that because I have a really good understanding of the game. Now, the game on console and the game on PC, Overwatch is what I'm talking about, is no different when it comes to mechanics or how the game works. Like it's not like a flashbang works different on console than it does on PC. So knowing those kind of things, like knowing the interaction between different heroes, what counters what comps are good, knowing the meta, that doesn't change. The meta is not different on console. Now you might see less Widowmakers on console, but Widowmaker isn't even prevalent on PC itself. So the meta really isn't different on console. Now, I will say that certain heroes are more prevalent on console, or vice versa, compared to PC. Coming back to Widowmaker, like I said, it's harder to play Widowmaker on console, so of course she's not going to be as prevalent. Pharah is a little bit more prevalent on console because hit scans isn't as easy to play on console. So those little small details are a little bit different, but the overall meta is still the same. Like when Quad Tank was going on, that's what's going on both consoles and PC. Like console was also doing Quad Tank. There wasn't like any diversion or anything different compared to the PC scene. Okay, so enough about my background. Let's talk about my climb to GM and eventually top 500. I'm gonna start with my placements because of course you need to know where I placed and how good I did in my placements in general. Now going into my placements, I gotta admit I wasn't too good. I still wasn't used to the mouse and keyboard, and again, I was still doing the ults by mistake a lot. My placements actually still went pretty good, but just telling you guys about my own performance, I still don't feel like it was worth anything. Now, doing my placements, I had a lot of gold, and it was so ridiculous. At one point, I had like a 93 KD with D.va, which hopefully I still have the screenshot. I'll put it on the screen here if I do. So I was doing like really good. Like I was getting like 50 kills a game and stuff like that. But comparing it to my console gameplay and how good I know I could be, I know that this wasn't like top tier gameplay or anything like that. But my placement still went pretty good. I won 9 games, lost 1. Originally I lost 1 because somebody left. And I placed 32-64, somewhere around there. After placements, my game was still pretty good. I was keeping golds and doing really well as far as that SR level. But if you ask me, I still wasn't doing like crazy good or anything. Like as far as my expectations, again, of how good I know I could be doing. But the climb was still real. I was winning a lot more than I was losing. The first game out of placements I lost. I lost like 65 points, which is fucking crazy. That's the most I lost on any platform for Overwatch. But the next game, I won like 70 something, which also is the most I've won. And that seemed to be the trend following my climb to GM. I was winning more points than I was losing, not a lot more, but I was still winning more than I was losing. The heroes I was playing were mostly tanks, Roadhog, D.va, and sometimes Ryan, even though I never played Ryan on even console, but I still feel because Ryan is such a important key to a team comp that even someone who just hold their shield up and fire strike down a hallway is still pretty important to the team. So I was doing a little bit of Ryan, but mostly tanks. This is around the 4 tank meta. I'm not sure if I said that earlier on in the video, but it's around the 4 tank meta. So I was doing a lot of tank gameplay and a little bit of soldier here and there. Now I'm pretty sure there's already a few comments saying, oh, it makes sense now, you use tanks to climb the easiest heroes to play in the game, which is true. I've said it before in this video, I wasn't like a crazy player. I know people who are in Diamond and Masters who are better aimers than me, but just my understanding of the game alone, and I wasn't like terrible with the mouse key or anything like that. Like, I was hitting a lot of hooks. My hook accuracy around this time was like 60%, so I was hitting a lot. And you know, I knew the game, so it was easy for me to climb. I got GM in like a week of just playing on PC. After getting GM, it was a struggle to get top 500. This is to be expected, and I really had to sit down and practice a lot to get up there as far as top 500 wise. I had to realize that, hey, if you want to get top 500 and you want to do it in a way that you're proud of, I guess, because I played DPS on PS4, so I wanted to get top 100 playing DPS on PC. It's the most fun, and I didn't want to, like, you know, climb using tanks. Not saying there's something wrong with that, but I wanted to climb the way I know how to climb. So I went to the lab a lot. Like, I had a few days where I'll be like playing against AI and just training against the boss for like 2 hours, and I did that like constantly switching around my sense a lot. I did that. I switched my sense like every fucking day when I was trying to get that perfect sense. So I was just like trying to get really good at the game, and after doing a lot of that and after practicing a lot, that's when I really started to climb and having even more fun playing comp. Like when I was playing McCree, which is my most favorite hero in the game, that was like a lot of fun because Soldier's not fun to play. He's a really strong hero right now, but he's not fun if you ask a lot of people. So when you get to play or get to a certain level to where you can play different heroes, it's a lot more fun. So I started doing that, started practicing a lot, and started climbing. I got really close to getting top 100, but I had an unfortunate game where someone was throwing for my top 100 games. So after that, I went on like a 3-game D rank. Unfortunate, but it happens. And following about 3 weeks in the PC game, about 3.5 weeks, I got close again. I was about 2 points away. When I say close, I was about 5 to 2 points away. I got close like 3 times, but I got put against like some really good players like Sinatra and stuff, and got shit on. So it happens, and I again D-ranked. Like every time I got close, I D-ranked a lot after my following loss. But I just kept grinding and kept trying to get good and just kept practicing, and eventually I was able to get top 500 just off like a huge climb streak. Actually, I went on like a 10-game win streak one day, and I was playing mostly Soldier and McCree, and just like my aim was on point. Just after all the practicing, it just all came together, and I finally got it. And boy, can I say that it feels so good to see that after all that practice and training that I finally got to it. Again, being the #1 player on PS4, not saying that I'm the best, but I was #1 a lot, so I was definitely top tier. I was feared, I guess I can say, but being that kind of person and then coming to PC and like just getting dunked on a lot and finally getting to be able to do the dunking once again, it feels great. I didn't want to be at such a high like pedestal on console and come to PC and like just be like dog tier, because that would be fun, like coming from dominating games to being dominated. So being able to do that and see that number felt great. So yeah, guys, that's my story, I guess, of how I came from being the #1 player on PS4 to top 500 or top 200 on PC. Hopefully next season I'll be able to get around top 50, top 25. I guess eventually #1 if I actually practice enough and get good enough. So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Peace.